This was a question. Thanks for imparting your knowledge and for answering our questions. You're welcome, dear. Million times over. Pleasure is all mine. You're such a sweetheart. Well, thank you. I love that. And you got the Mickey. How can we raise our state of consciousness to the highest possible level? And what do you think our state of consciousness was like when we were a forest-dwelling species? Hugs and kisses. Thank you. And that's the AOI. Spirituality versus academics. In our classes, the first part of the day, the first day, is the discussion on how God put creation together. We've talked about it here on the YouTube. And I talk about it extensively at the class because we have to understand how we're put together. And the problem is we have God or the Creator or whatever, however you want to look at that essence, which all life springs from. However you look at that. It doesn't matter. Names are unimportant because name is just trying to define something that's infinite. And you can't define the infinite. This is what makes it, it's what it's a tease for the mind. So we talked about that God is like a mirror that is all of the all. And if you look at all scriptures and all religions, doesn't matter what level it is, you will find that the Creator is defined more as the allness of the all, the omnipresence of everything, that alone exists. You'll see numerous amount of definitions, the I am, that sort of thing. A little cliche comes to my mind is, I think, therefore I am. You ever heard that one? I think, therefore I am. Well, it's better said, I am, therefore I think. See the difference? And the difference is that you are not your mind. It's that simple. The mind is the tool of creation. And so it's very important. There's that God Worlds chart that I showed you. Paul Twitchell wrote an extensive one. The most thorough one that I've ever seen. I'm trying to find it around here. I started putting together my own God Worlds chart from my own experiences and what I've learned from Twitchell and others. But it's an incredible journey of how all the levels, dimensions, I don't care what name you give them. Jesus referred to them as rooms in my Father's mansion. But in Buddha and Eastern religions, we call these states of consciousness, levels of consciousness. You can call them dimensions. You can call them realms. I've heard all kinds of names associated with these different levels that God has created so it can experience untold amount of experiences. It's forever creating in creation. It cannot create outside of creation because that which is all cannot create more. The all is the all. There is no way to create more or have something existing outside of the all. The allness is the allness. There's no room. It just encompasses everything, every dimension. It's hard to put creation rules on the infinite because creation is finite. There's a point A and a point B. Consciousness is more like a circle. It is always there. And there's nowhere you can go without it. We talked about this before, where there's nowhere you can hide from yourself. You lock yourself in a closet, guess what? You're still sitting there with yourself. Same thing. When you quiet the mind, you're still there. That's the problem. Or that's the good thing. So that's what we have to look at, is the difference between creation and you. And the best way, and I've used this analogy before, is when you go to a very well-directed movie. And the directors that direct a movie so well that you lose yourself for that movie is considered the best directors. Because they can literally take your awareness and pull it into drama and lose the fact that you are there watching the drama and you become part of the drama. Soul takes on experiences in creation by becoming them. That's the secret that you have to learn, is that you take on experience by taking it on. You can have a title, doctor, but until you take it on and live it and express it, you just have a title. And it doesn't matter if it's an electrician title. It doesn't matter if it's a telephone installer or a plumber. Titles. The consciousness of it is the process of thought, activity, and emotions, all drummed into the experience. I'm a plumber. Look, I'm doing plumbing. I'm taking the plumbing out, sticking it together. I'm called a plumber, and I know how to do it. But you're not a plumber. Your body is, and you're playing the world of being a plumber, but you're far from being just a plumber or just an electrician or just a doctor or just whatever you are. This is the greatness of you all. And when we recognize that in everyone will start hugging each other. They'll throw down the rocks, the guns, they'll land the planes, and everybody will start hugging and say, you know what? I love you because we're all part of the same Creator. And that we're fighting because of our unawareness, because we are lost and our spiritual religious leaders didn't free us. And that's the difference between spirituality and religion, is the job of a minister or a saint or a savior is to awaken you to the God within and not be the God for you. No true master or spiritual being will ever be between you and yourself, and whatever you want to call yourself, God, whatever you want to call that. A true spiritual being will always bring you into God consciousness and allow you to have that. But this idea of academics, we praise the mind so much here, and the reason is the mind is actually controlling everything. And there's beings that control these higher aspects of the mind. You have all levels of beings in these worlds, and you wouldn't think that God cannot express itself except through something, a channel for itself. The infinite cannot express itself in finite terms except through protection, bodies, frequency step downs, if you will, in magnetics. You can't hold your finger in a 440 electrical socket. Couldn't do it. So that's why you can't have out-of-body experiences and get to the highest high necessarily while still retaining a human body. It will burn all the way through the cord into the bodies. Too powerful. So we have got to step down the magnetics so you can experience differences. So I can say, look, I'm not the only thing that exists. How boring. I want something to do. Oh, that's a pretty woman, or that's a beautiful man, or that's a beautiful animal. And there's untold amounts of experiences and activities. Academics is nothing but the illusion of knowledge, and that knowledge breeds truth. There's nothing truth in knowledge. Knowledge is a forever ongoing seeking of what already exists. And the proof that academics fail is allopathy. We can, in our simple healing of spirituality and of the raw foods and of the herbs, we can dance around medical doctors by the thousands because there's no curative, there's no remedy within allopathy. Why would you suck the main economics out of man for a system that doesn't work? For a system that has theories that are bull hockey. It is just ridiculous. Man is lost, he's memorized, he's hypnotized. Governments have been planning this for years. And hypnotize yourself. Free yourself from the mind and academics. You don't have to have 5-year, 10-year medical degree. Look what it's got them. They're lost even more. And the more they go to school, the more lost they get. I say that there's exceptions to this always, so don't get on my case for that. I'm glad my dentist knows how to put implants in. I'm glad he went to school for that. There's those type of academics are important, no question. At the same time, We wouldn't need them if we were back getting our health together. If I had just known to go deeper, maybe I had some herbs. Maybe life went different. Maybe this, maybe that. But in reality, you can't maybe nothing. You have to live in the present moment and know that this is why I can talk to you about balance. This is why I know you guys can do better. This is why I know where a lot of the pitfalls are. How many times have I been here? How many times have I fell in holes? I'm learning where they are now. So that's what we have to do, is learn where these are. And the mind is the biggest pitfall you have. Learn to control your mind and let it do its thing on its own, and you separate. The highest part of the mind is the ego, and the lowest part of the mind is your causal body. These are three realms that make up the mental worlds. And the causal body is where you first take form, where I can see you in form. And that starts the blueprint. That's why when we start bringing your energy and your consciousness up, we can regenerate tissue, especially beyond genetic memories, because we are now beyond the genetic memory of the cell into the causal world, where the blueprints are. And you can journey to these worlds. The causal world, the Akashic records are kept there. These are records of all your journeys. You can see them. Many people have. Many people have brought them. I've seen mine. It's well established. Don't be afraid if you're in religions of these things. These are the way God put the worlds together. Be strong, because you are here because of God. You should be strong in your knowingness of that. The only way you're going to get that strength, and is right what this lady asked about, how do I grow spiritually? Quiet your mind. Quit associating your mind with yourself. Be yourself and use your mind. You can use your bodies to enjoy the worlds. Be like Michael in the movie Michael, where he enjoyed all that. Enjoyed life, fighting the bull, going to court and doing something funny with the judge. Just shows how you can be a spiritual being and understand that creation is just for the fun of it. Don't take it too serious. Even though there's pain and there's depression and discomfort. That's because we're unaware. That is the mind. That's the mind that's trapped man into this. Don't blame anything but academics in the mind. It is allopathy that has set this whole consciousness of suppression and antibiotics, not understanding the role of bacterium or the role of virals in nature. Oh no, we're scientists. We must play in labs and create interesting strains of HIV and Ebola. Oh, did I say create? I'm sorry. Whatever. You know, this is we've become insane, and it's all through the mind and academics. Well, you can say that's important. That's why we have this telephone and can communicate, and I concur with that. But you have to know when to use them, and you have to know when not to use them. So there's a point where get your academics, but then free yourself from them. Put together, because you can't see the whole picture from the mind. The mind hasn't that ability. The mind looks in fractions and looks in comparisons and analyses. That's why you have double-blind study crap, and why you have all its analysis and comparisons and studies. What do you need to study, really? Just take a look. Just observe nature and the human species. You'll get better awareness by doing that, but it's too simple. And, of course, creation wouldn't go on like it is. So it is important to God that there is unconsciousness. So don't be too hard on people that are unaware, because I'm unaware at a certain point, you're unaware at a certain point. Absolutely. So I'm real humbled at the fact that I even have had the experiences that I've had. Thank you very much. But at the same time, I know and beginning to know more of who I am, who you are. And that makes for a power of us. And not a power that we have power over others, but a power to be more, to know more, to see more, and to give love more. So you all have fun with this, but don't get trapped in academics. You don't have to have years of study to help heal people. I'm teaching you all the simplicity of health, and that's our focus. Throw the word of diseases in the trash can, you'll be better off, and start understanding how the body works simplistically. How does your house work at home? Has a kitchen in it, has a bathroom in it. We have to have those two rooms, right? Because people eat in that house, and people have to eliminate waste. Cells do the same thing. Not a brainstorm. Everything does. Plants do. We have to feed plants, and they eliminate waste. So real important that you understand spirituality over academics. Put the mind where it is. It is the creator of creation. Play in creation, but if you get lost, you'll become unconscious. And the more unconscious you become, the more fear-based, the more depressed, the more your body goes down toward acidosis. So, and the more you're controlled by others, either emotionally, mentally, or physically. Get your power back. Get your joy back. Get your love back. And get your God back. Okay?